Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This video, we're looking at the Monday NBA slate. We have 7 or 8 games tonight to discuss. Hopefully, you guys had a good Sunday night. Up late tonight because had a sweat going on DraftKings. Posted the updated picks here. Kevin Porter, Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Butler, Towns, Satoransky, Collins, and FanDuel, Lillard, Edwards, Porter, Collins, Olynyk. All of these were great except for Carlton Towns, and that really hurt because still managed to put up a 316.5, even with 36 from Towns. Could have been huge if he had at least like a decent game, even if he just put up like 50, would have been really nice. But it is what it is. Can't really complain. FanDuel did really well too with a 339. It's been 4 straight nights cashing on FanDuel. DraftKings bounced back after we missed on Saturday night. So big night. Hopefully getting close to a takedown. That will be nice. So as always, check out Twitter if you want the updates. I post them close to lock. If you want the whole shebang, you can hit the website, dfsprocess.net, and grab a pass. But without further ado, let's get into the picks. So, um, as always, appreciate you guys to the like button, subscribe. All that good stuff really helps me out. If you want to comment anything, that helps this channel grow a little bit just because it reaches more people. So I really appreciate everything you guys been doing. Let's get started with the point guard options. We have a ton of studs. You have like 5 or 7 superstars. Lamelo is getting up there, but Harden, Doncic, Westbrook, LeBron, Curry, Irving, Fox, all tremendous players. Looking at the price tags, like Harden is 11,000 against the Knicks. Knicks are still playing great defense. I don't know how they are still tops in the NBA in giving up the least amount of points. Then you have Luca against the Clippers. Clippers got their butts handed to them against the Pelicans last night, so they are probably they haven't been resting guys, and hopefully they don't do that tonight. So that would suck. But Luca, we know he's done all right against him. In just 25 minutes, he put up 50. So I think he looks good. He was great in the playoff series against them last year. Westbrook 10-5 had his best game of the season without Beal. Was making threes. Took 32 shots, which is just crazy to think about. Now that Beal's not on the injury report, I'm not going to be playing him or chasing that. And then LeBron is 10-3. Him and Curry both are pretty good plays. Like LeBron has slowed down a bit, probably just trying to keep himself good to go for the postseason. And Curry, 10K against the Lakers defense. It's just something I'm probably not going to get to. So out of the 10K options, I think I'd go Doncic is my favorite, followed by it would probably be LeBron, then Harden, then Curry, then Westbrook. I think you can go to Fox. Kyrie's pretty good. It's pretty nicely priced at 9,300, but I just don't want to really go crazy against the Knicks here. And then in the 8K range, it's Lamelo and Ja Morant. Lamelo has a great matchup against Sacramento. I love Fox as well. I lean to Fox, just $400 more, but Lamelo is a good tournament option just because nobody's going to really go to him, and I wouldn't do that in cash. But tournaments, he looks great against the Kings. And then the 7K range is also pretty strong with Jamal Murray, who's been struggling recently. Hasn't made his shots in the last couple games, so price tag has come down a bit. So those are the kind of spots where I like to jump on when the player is great. He has so much upside, and the price tag is decreasing. So wouldn't mind taking a shot on Jamal Murray. I like Chris Paul. I think he'll bounce back after 2 of 10 shooting performance against Memphis. Not the best price tag, but I think he looks all right just looking at that range. And then Brogdon been playing better, but I would revert back. Played his first game last game, and his minutes will increase. So I think Brogdon against Denver on the road, I think we can do a little bit better. The cheaper range is also pretty strong here. You have Dennis Schroeder at 6,200. They said Halliburton is going to be on a minutes limit for at least a few games, so who knows that they'll probably still continue into this one. But his price tag has come down really on DraftKings down to 58, hasn't been under 6,000 in quite some time. But the cream of the crop at point guard is going to be this 5K range with quickly DeLon Wright and Derek White if there is no DeRozan still. Like those three all look strong. Quickly looks to be one of the best plays at 5,600. Looking at the Knicks here, they're going to be without Derrick Rose. Also, Alfred Payne is doubtful for Monday's contest, so you're going to see quickly run the show. They started Neil Kina, but he only played 7 minutes. So quickly, I'll assume he'll play lion's share of the minutes. They might even start him against the Nets here. He's going to shoot a lot. He's a good shooter. Sometimes he struggles shooting, uh, which will suck if he has one of those bad shooting games. But without DeRozan, without Payton, he's going to see over 30 minutes, and quickly does give you some upside. So he's the guy that I would really recommend targeting at point guard. DeLon Wright is also appealing just because the Pistons are pretty banged up with not only with injuries but with some of the guys they traded. They traded away Svi, and then Hamidou Diallo is not expected to play. He's still out. So basically, looking at the Pistons here at point guard, and Dennis Smith is in the protocol, so he's probably not going to play for a bit. Those DeLon Wright, Saban Lee as your point guards. Shooting guards, it's Josh Jackson. Ellington is also doubtful. So with him out, no Svi, you see Rodney McGruder play quite a bit of minutes, and then you have Grant, Bay, and then Plumlee's going to have to play a lot. So Pistons somewhat appealing just with the lack of bodies here, but quickly is my favorite. And then I don't mind going DeLon Wright. And now 4K range, Devontae Graham's minutes are going to be low. He might crack 20, might get you in the teens. So I think he's a risky play, even though the matchup is really nice. And then that's mainly it here. You could take a shot on Lee if you wanted to. He's going to see some backup point guard minutes, but we'll probably get some better value as the day goes on. Moving on to shooting guard. Well, I forgot to mention that point guard. Drew Holiday is also really nicely priced, $6,000 or $6,500. I'll probably plug him in at point guard, and then I'll plug in quickly at shooting guard. Holiday, after they said he's not going to be on a minutes limit, he played 32, so played fine. He struggled with the shot. He was just 6 of 18, but had some rebounds, had only a couple assists. Can definitely do better than that. Minutes will probably slowly creep up. The matchup is just so solid against the Wizards that it's really tough for me not to like $6,500 Drew Holiday. That price tag has really come down on him. At shooting guard, it's Bradley Beal. Took the day off, or he was dealing with an injury, so kind of had a rest day to heal up his knee. The last game they played the Bucks, so he's back in it tonight against them. It's 9,400. He gives you a lot of upside. I think I'd rather go Beal than Russell Westbrook, but I don't think either one is a must play. And then you have George, 82. I just never play the Clippers unless one of the stars are out. Levert, well, I said never play any of the Clippers studs. Like, I don't play George or Kawhi unless one of those two are out. Levert is 7,000. Played 27 minutes, which was good to see. They said he wasn't even going to be on a limit heading into that game. But I think they'll still take it easy on him a little bit. So he still looks great on FanDuel. He's like 4,100 there. But DraftKings 7,000. I think it's still going to be a bit tough. Like, it's going to be at least a couple games before he kind of gets back up to speed. And then position isn't super deep here. You don't have a ton of value. You have Derek White if there's no DeRozan again. Then you have Quickly at 5,600, and then you have Lonnie Walker. Not even without DeRozan, he's not playing a lot of minutes, even though he shot the ball really well today. But I'd probably go with a pump play, and that would be like Rodney McGruder at 3,400. Without Svi, last game he played 28 minutes off the bench, and now he's probably going to jump into the starting lineup, him or Josh Jackson, without Ellington, who played like 20-something minutes last game as well. He played 26, so those are 26 extra minutes that have to go around. Maybe Frank Jackson will find his way in the mix. But I like Quickly a lot at 56. Small forward, you have LeBron at 10-3, then you have Kawhi at 89. DeRozan is 85 if he plays. Not the best price for DeRozan. So scroll down a bit, like Jeremy Grant looks appealing at 75, but I like a couple of cheaper Pistons like McGruder, DeLon Wright, Plumlee. They look a little bit better than Grant, just based on their price tags. Kelly Oubre's and Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, tough shooting game, 4 of 16. I mean, really, really bad. Still playing huge minutes. The matchup is great. I think you can go back to him without any problems. RJ Barrett coming off of his best game of the season with almost 50 DraftKings points. All these guys banged up, no Rose, no Payton is just going to run, Barrett to play a lot of minutes. Even in a big blowout, he still played 36 minutes. So I really don't mind going to RJ Barrett here at all at that price tag. If you wanted to save some money, you can take a shot on Alec Burks, who's $4,400. He's also going to see an uptick in minutes. Probably will get you high 20s, low 30s, get some point guard minutes in there as well. So he looks appealing at small forward. And that's mainly it for the top end guys. If you want us to take a shot with punting, taking a shot on a pump play, it's like Reggie Bullock's going to play a lot, but he's just going to shoot a lot of threes. So really, I like Burks as a value option at 4,400. I like Bridges a little bit at 46, and then if you're paying up, you can look to Josh Jackson in the mid range at 5,400. Look to R.J. Barrett at 6,200, but he healed, and maybe Gordon Hayward just because the matchup is solid. Moving on to power forward, besides Giannis here at 11-1, you have a couple of guys with huge upsides at high 9K price tags. You have Randall, who's going to take a lot more of the point guard duties as well. We've seen him handle the ball a lot this season. He had a triple-double against OKC tonight, or yeah, I think last game. Now it's against Brooklyn, who still struggle defensively, giving up 115 points per game. Knicks get a big pace bump going into Brooklyn. I like Randall at 9,800. Don't really play him that much, but without Rose, without Payne, he's just going to have to take on a lot more usage, and some more assist opportunities should be there. And then Sabonis is another guy that I like. He's 9,600 bucks. You can go with both of them if you wanted to, and just not go with Giannis. It's up to you, but I like both of those guys at 98 and 9,600. Then you have Porzingis, 83, looks okay, but I think I'd rather go up to the 9K guys. And then if you wanted to go with some value plays, you have Bagley at 6,000. Minutes are still still not there even without Whiteside, so you probably look at Draymond at 65, coming off of a triple double. The matchup is not the easiest one, but he gives you a lot of upside. The price tag on him is really cheap. The minutes are going to be there basically every night, yeah, as long as this game is close. He's getting you 36, 37 minutes in close games. So at this price tag, I don't mind going to Draymond here. And then that's mainly it for the main guys I'm looking at. If you wanted to go with some cheap options here, maybe you can look to Dario Saric, who's been playing pretty good basketball, getting you at least mid to high 20s in minutes without Cam Johnson. And then you have Morris at just 3,900, and maybe maybe you can look to Jeff Green, 4,000 flat, but it's going to be Irving and Harden who take on a lot of the usage. So I think I feel pretty good about Randall here. At center, you have Jokic at 10-7. Nice price tag on him if you wanted to play him against the Pacers here. They play a couple of bigs with Sabonis and Turner, so he's going to get good minutes. You also have Sabonis you could play at 9,600. Save with 1,100 bucks. Has been playing great. His minutes are there every night. 43 in regulation on a back-to-back, and he still dropped 66. He's a monster. He looks great. And then for value plays, it's Montrezl Harrell at 6,200 without Marc Gasol and without Davis. It's Plumlee at 61. Maybe you can look to Turner. And then you have they have Serge Ibaka listed out. He left the game pretty early, played 8 minutes, and then he left with a back injury. It's a back-to-back, so I don't expect him to play. So that would make Zubac draw the start, and if that does happen, he's only $4,600. He would be a guy that I would plug in at center. And then last but not least, or actually two more spots to go. So moving on to guard, it's going to be Rodney McGruder. It's a guy that I'm looking at, 3,400 bucks. Should see mid to high 20s minutes, maybe low 30s if he draws a start in place of Ellington. Just really don't have a lot of bodies on the Pistons, so he should see good minutes. He's a decent player when he's given opportunities, and maybe we can do better than him when we get a lot of more news. But I feel fine about it if he's starting, even if he comes off the bench just with those guys out. And then last but not least, it's Sabonis at 9,600. Just a great price tag on Sabonis still. It's come down a little bit, and then it's kind of gone back up. It was 99, so you're saving a couple hundred bucks. It gives you a huge ceiling. The matchup here is all right against the Nuggets. I think it's going to be a close game, so we'll see Sabonis have to play big minutes. And he's had a couple of down games here recently, but he still gives you a huge ceiling. He's one of the few players in the NBA who drop like over 80 DraftKings points this season. So he gives you a monstrous upside. And if you wanted to avoid some of the 10K options, 11K options, you can look to Sabonis, Randall, and feel pretty good about it. So that's mainly it for the DraftKings side. Let's go ahead and talk about FanDuel. Looking at the point guard options, starts with Luca and Westbrook at 10-2, both exactly. I'd lean Doncic over Westbrook. Both of their price tags are looking pretty appealing compared to where they've been for most of the year. Especially Luca has been like over 10, 11,000 for much of the season. So I do like Luca. FanDuel is making their point guard options pretty like separating them into tiers. You have the two 10K guys, you have the 8 and 9K guys here with Ja Morant. The low end, you have De'Aaron Fox, Kyrie. I like Fox quite a bit against the Hornets. I like him more than Lamelo. I like him more than Ja Morant and DeJounte Murray. And then you have a ton of value at this position. You have Jamal Murray is only 7,300, but really the value lies with Chris Paul at 68. Malcolm Brogdon is just 67, and then Drew Holiday is only 58. Delon Wright's 57, and Derek White is 53. So that's where a lot of value lies here. I don't want to go cheap at point guard. Besides, like I'm not punting with any of these guys because you have so much value right here. Like Holiday gives you 30, 40 point upside. Delon Wright gives you 40 point upside. Brogdon, Chris Paul have 50 point upside. So definitely just gonna go with a lot of those options here. And Drew Holiday really looks good. Then you have Bradley Beal, Harden at this position at shooting guard. I don't really want to go to either one. Paul George is cheap. Looks better than he does on DraftKings, but still, I mean, he's always popular on FanDuel, and he never really pans out. Like, he's never makes up for his ownership. He was 60% owned almost last night, and did turn into a blow up, but there were so many other options with Anthony Edwards. You had also Oladipo in the mix. So I think if he's going to be popular again, you can easily just go off of him and just go down to like Buddy Hield, maybe Josh Jackson. Wiggins is cheap, although he's risky. But really, you want to play quickly. He's only $4,600. He's a guy that you want to lock in. At FanDuel at shooting guard, you have Karis LeVert is 41. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to go with these two. So, at the center position is kind of, I'll talk about it, but I think quickly and LeVert are the two shooting guards I'm going with. Small forward, besides LeBron, you have Kawhi as the two pay up guys. You have a loaded 7K or 6 and 7K range with Hayward, Middleton, Harrison Barnes, Oubre. I like Middleton more than Hayward. Oubre, don't really want to go to him. He's been struggling recently. I'd probably go to Barnes against the Hornets. But I like Barrett a lot at 5,700. Yeah, Will Barton at only 55. And then for value, you have Sadiq Bey at 46. But I'm going cheap at shooting guard, so I can pay up a bit at small forward if I wanted to. But yeah, if I wanted to, it'd probably be Middleton at 74. Power forward, it's Giannis, then Randall Sabonis. Sabonis price tag has been so nice on FanDuel. He was super low on last game and he dropped like 67. Really nice for us on FanDuel. Go back to him here. You can go to Randall if you wanted to as well. Then you have some nice cheap plays if you wanted to pay up at some other spots. Like if you wanted to pay up at shooting guard, you can look to Sarge as a value play. Morris as another value play. Stewart. Uh, yeah, we'll see. And then Jake Crowder is also in play at 3,900. So these are the 5 guys I'm looking at on FanDuel right now at center. It's kind of up in the air until we know if Zubac's going to start or not. And if Ibaka's out, that would be a nice play. Then you also have DeAndre Ayton at 63. You have Plumlee at 61. Holmes at 67. Like these guys are all in play. Harrell's only 5,900. So lots of guys to pick from. Then you have Brook Lopez and DeAndre Jordan. Both cheap. Both give you some block upside, especially Brook Lopez. So just kind of going to wait and see at center, and hopefully we get that news early. And then, James Wiseman is just 3,900. Minutes on him are, you never really know what you're going to get. It's a back-to-back, so we'll see how many minutes they play him. But still gives you some sort of ceiling. I think he looks like a guy you could take a shot with at 3,900. But that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Best of luck, and I'll catch you all later.